I can feel my 4-year-old heart breaking, my 4-year-old stomach aching, as Jamaica, with all her smells, heat, and uncertainties, fill every pore of my little being. Sad and scared, I never could have seen where I am today through those tear-streaked eyes. For the next 6 years, without a father in sight, my mother gone to educate herself so I can have a better future, I was passed from one relative's home to another, always feeling like a guest, always visiting, but never belonging. Now, those are the first few chapters of my life's journey, chapters written by others holding powerful pens who started writing my story. Even though you ultimately become the author, throughout each chapter of your life, there's been someone else's pen that has written a few words or a few lines in your book of life. We didn't get to where we are today, and we will not get to where we're going by ourselves. No one journeys alone. You know, whether you realize it or not, we're all holding a powerful pen that we used to write in someone else's book, influencing how their journey in life may turn out. I really believe the world is like one big book club, and everyone's just adding a line or two or more to each other's stories. This is why I think it's important for us to remember the power we're holding in that pen of ours. A pen that changes life stories. Now, in Joseph Campbell's famous hero's journey, there's a part where the hero of the story arrives at the meeting the mentor moment, where a few lines get written into the hero's book that guides them in the right direction, just helping them to find their path. I believe we all have the power to be that mentor, just helping others write better stories for themselves. Now, I remember the day the meeting the mentor moment became so clear to me as I stood beside this hero, struggling on his journey. In chapter 38 of my book, I meet a young man who was known to the police as this notorious car thief. Now, he really didn't fit the stereotypical profile of what we think a notorious car thief looks like. He was vertically challenged, quite stout, innocent looking, as long as he wasn't sitting in the driver's seat of your car. I remember the day we discovered that we both had a passion for aquariums and tropical fish. You know, we were standing in this pet store together. Birds were squawking, aquariums bubbling, when he began telling me the most detailed characteristics of each of the fish. Now, I was new to mentoring at that moment, at that time, but I knew I had to start feeding his passion. I used it as a hook to redirect his attention, to focusing on a more positive hobby, just so to say. Our young man, he began spending more time at home, just caring for his new finned friends. He began opening up, just having long conversations, sharing his vast knowledge about fish. He literally ditched hanging out, stealing cars. And it wasn't too long before the Ministry of Children and Family were calling, checking in on him, just wondering why they hadn't received any sort of critical incident reports about him. That was the moment I realized how a few simple, uncomplicated, non-clinical, non-academic lines written in his book encourage him to want to write a better story for himself. Now, I know what it's like to want to write a better story for yourself. I didn't stay in Jamaica. My mom's pen started writing my story of my experience of moving to Canada, where a few amazing mentors would help me write a better story for myself. And that story was all about becoming a football star in the CFL. Like I said, No one journeys alone. Now, for me, it started with Dave. Now, Dave was a former football player who mentored me through positive words and speech. Next, it was my football coach, Bill, who encouraged me and helped me, mentored me by providing opportunities and finances where need be. Now, after Bill was Coach Doug, who mentored me by encouraging me and teaching me the importance of being prepared in life. Each one of them, with their mighty pens, helped me to write chapters in my life that had so many successes and experiences. And those successes and experiences made my story turn out so much better. And now, my present mentor, a great prophet of God, my pastor. Because of these great men, my mentors with their mighty pens, chapter 39 of my book of life, I became the co-founder of the Pathfinder Youth Center Society, along with my wife, Ruth, where we still mentor at-risk youth. And I tell you, I remember a young man who came to our job training and mentorship program. No hope. He had no hope. Never smiling. Low self-esteem. Health issues. And just no direction. Now, 10 years later, he's full of confidence. He smiles. He went back to school. He's now a peer mentor for other youth in our programs. And he runs a really cool coffee shop called Bean, and a bookstore actually, called Bean Around Books. He's went back to school. He's become a mentor for other youth in our programs. He's also created a business that helps other at-risk youth. Talk about writing it forward. A few simple, uncomplicated, non-clinical, non-academic lines, creating that meeting a mentor moment, just helping them to want to write better stories for themselves. Now, we didn't get to where we are today, and we will not get to where we're going by ourselves. No one journeys alone. You know, the awful truth is this. Most of us have chapters in our lives we don't want anyone to read. And some of those chapters, we plain just want to just rip them out and just rewrite them. But you see, those are the chapters that connects us. Most of us have chapters written about some sort of trauma, abuse, abandonment, or addiction. And it's through sharing lessons learned during those tough times, the hard chapters in our lives, sharing the story of how you made it through, that can become a part of somebody's survival guide. This is what mentoring is. It's deciding with purpose the lines you're going to write in another person's book, just helping them to write better stories for themselves. Now, back in chapter 40, 2004, I'm introduced to this young lady from Afghanistan. Slim-built, laser-focused eyes. She'd been assaulted. She escaped death from the Taliban. She was assaulted, molested. She lived through school bombings. Now, despite her situation, she was filled with a lot of energy and a lot of hope. And I might have been trying to mentor her through finding positive pathways in her life. But really and truly, let me tell you, it was her that was mentoring me in tenacity, in courage, and in keeping hope alive in dark times. She won the 2020 Courage to Come Back Award. And now she has her own foundation that gives voice to the voiceless women of Afghanistan. With her powerful pen, she's now writing in the book of life of so many individuals here and around the world, throughout the world, through that nonprofit organization. On her hero's journey, she too is writing it forward. Now, when it comes to changing a life for the better, a positive pen can truly be mightier than a damaging sword. We're all heroes on our journey. Sometimes meeting a mentor, sometimes being that mentor someone needs to meet. With powerful pens in hand, let's Let's decide with a purpose the powerfully positive words we write in another person's book, helping them to want to write better stories for themselves. Because we did not get to where we are today, and we will not get to where we're going by ourselves. Because no one journeys alone. Thank you.